Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Sinta Khoiriyah. My NPM 091901361. In this section, I want to explain my international journal to fulfill midterm test of speaking for professional context. And the title is Improving English Speaking Competence for Students in Pangeran Diponegoro Islamic College, Stay of Nganjuk East Java, Indonesia through storytelling. And let's start with abstract. Having a good English speaking for students are very important to know everything that happens in the world. The new curriculum of English as a global language of science, technology, and social business should be taught communicatively for students at university or college. It means that speaking is the primary competence to develop. However, the students of Pangeran Diponegoro Islamic College, Stay of Nganjuk East Java, Indonesia don't have a good English speaking competence. In other words, they have a low competence to speaking English. Realizing the condition, the researcher think to find the solution of this problem. And finally, they decided that storytelling is the best method because storytelling is cheap, easy to do whenever and wherever. The strength of storytelling is shouldn't feel that lecturer or teacher gives something very personal, so they can more easy to understand the story being told, rather read a lot. And storytelling give motivation, contain many experience to their stimulus to speak fluency. And despite the strengths, storytelling also have weakness. The teacher or lecturer have to know all the content of the story. They have to tell it with students without read the book. And of course, the class will need more time. And okay, second, let's go to the introduction. I mean the keyword. The keyword that used in this international journal is English speaking competence, improving, and storytelling. Okay, third, let's go to the introduction. Language, it's mean communication or speaking. In this case, as a human being, it's needed to be able to communicate or speak orally. And language has a main role in students' intellectual, social, and emotional development. And it is the key word to get successful in studying all of the subject. And in the new curriculum, speaking is the one of basic competence that have to be mastered by students. The Indonesian students learning are expected to be able to communicate accurately based on social context. In spoken English, they have to know the meanings and various spoken texts that have certain purpose, text structure, and linguistic. It means that speaking is the primary competence to develop that has many aspects such as grammar, pronunciation, context, fluency, and vocabulary. So, the research was carried out to Pangeran Diponegoro Islamic College, Stay of Nganjuk East Java, and they focus to how storytelling can improve students' vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and etc. by see the strengths and the weakness of storytelling. Okay, next part, I want to explain literature review that we use in this journal are consist of first, the concept of speaking. According Turnberry in 2005 on point 8 said that speaking is the speech production of our daily activities, while Underwood in 1997 on point 11 said that speaking means the creative process between speaker and listener, thus involves thought and knowledge of three areas. They are grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. And last, Reichman in 1983 on point 91 to 95 said that there are so many requirements to making a good speech, such as speech of speaking, voice and delivery, grammar, vocabulary proficiency, and self-improvement suggestion. Okay, next, speaking competence. According to Oxford Advanced Dictionary, say that competence is part of person ability, power, authority, knowledge, and etc. to do what is needed. And ability, according Chomsky in Bramfit and Johnson in 1998 on point 13, said that ability is the speaking hearers, thus involves thought of knowledge and consists of concept, appropriateness, and acceptability that has many variables such as attitude, social, and emotion. And last, by Nelson in 1997 on point 11, on point 12, said that speaking competence is conversation skill or conversation competence. It is performed mutual independent, interactive nature of conversation. Okay, I want to say sorry, I have to move here because the light in the first place was so dark. So I move here to continue my explain. The third is indicators of speaking competence. Brown in 2004 on point 141 to 142 said that one can be called have speaking competence if he or she able to first imitate a word or phrase of a sentence, and number two, produce a short stages of oral language such as intonation, stress, rhythm, juncture, and etc. And number three, respond a very short conversation. And number four, take the two forms of either transactional language. And five, maintain a social relationship. And the last, develop monologue oral production that including oral speech, oral presentation, and storytelling. Meanwhile, UR says in 1999 on point 120 that the successful of speaking activity are followed by first, the learner talk a lot. Number 2, participant is even. Number 3, motivation is high. And last, language is of an acceptable thing. Okay, for the definition of storytelling, according to Taylor in 2000 on point 6, said that storytelling is tell to one or more listener through the voice and gesture, and we usually repeat things redundancy, especially if the students are difficult to follow. And then Elise in 1991 on point 33 said that add the vocabulary in a story are presented in a vivid, clear context and help to convey the meanings. And last, according to Zero and Sabri in 1998 on point 2 said that storytelling is an activity which requires an interaction between the listener and the audience, and then between the speaker and the listener. Okay, 5 is selecting story. In a selecting story in teaching learning process for students, Byrne and Broman in 1975 on point 73 state, point A, a simple well-developed plot is one main of sequence event. And then point B, using repetition, rhythm, and catchphrase so that the child easy to memorize a new word. And point C, using carefully to chosen language, not complicated language. And point D, use main character so child easy to identify. While Ellis and Brewster in 1991 on point 12 to 13 said that to selecting a story have to followed by point A, level, and then pronunciation, and then content or structure of text, and then encourage participant, and then motivation, and then the positive attitude, and then arouse curiosity, and then content of language. And then Andrew Wright in 1995 on point 14 to 15 at how to choose a story that follows by point A, which will the children reading for the first few lines, and point B, which you like, and then which you feel it is appropriate for children, and then which the children will understand and enjoy the story, and then which doesn't have a long description of passage, and then which related in other things, and the last is which you feel that you can tell it well. Okay, I will explain. Next part is research method that consists of setting. Of course, this happened in Pangeran Diponegoro Islamic College, Study of Nganjuk, East Java, Indonesia. And then point B, subject are students in semester 1A that consists of 11 male and 14 female. And point C, research method. The writer used classroom action research method, and the reason why the writer used action research method are point A, action research method approach education is an invited exercise, saying teacher in the class is the best judge for her total educational experience. And point B, the theory and practice of teachers in the class were encouraged to develop. And number 3, teacher understood and able to choose a good situation or good solution that be applied in the classroom. And the last, the result of research will be improve their experience, and that consists of herself and her pupils. Okay, point D, the procedure of this research are planning, implementing, observing, and reflecting. And point A, the method to collecting data. The writer here need 2 data. There are qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative data was got from documentation, observation, interview, and questionnaire. If quantitative data got from doing a test, there are pre and post tests to know before and after from students in use storytelling to improve English speaking competence. Okay, point F, technique of analyze data. For qualitative data, Glaser and Strauss in 1980 on point 105 said 4 steps. Here there are comparing the incidents to each category, and then integrating category to their purpose, and then delimiting to the theory, and the last step is writing the theory. And for quantitative data, same like before, is doing tests. There are pre and post tests to know the result, how storytelling can improve or know of the student English speaking competence. Next, I want to explain the last part of this journal. Of course, the result of the study. After we do pre-test and post-test, we got the result. There are the student grammar improved, it proposed by increasing score of grammar from pre-test and post-test. Storytelling can help students to make a good sentence. And point B, student vocabulary improve. It proposed by increasing score of vocabulary from pre-test and post-test. Storytelling can help students to make a various sentence. And then point C, the student content improve. It proposed by increasing score of content in pre-test and post-test. Storytelling can make student content more better. And point D, the student pronunciation improve. It proposed by increasing scores of pronunciation from pre-test and post-test. That some students can't use letter R, but after post-test, they able to say words like September, driver, server, and etc. And last is student fluency improved. It proposed by increasing score of fluency in pre-test and post-test. Storytelling can help students feel free to express their idea so they can tell the story fluently. And we arrive in the conclusion of this journal. So the strength of storytelling is students feel that lecturer or teacher gives something very personal, so they more easy to understand being taught than read a lot, because storytelling gives motivation, meaning, fluency, and stimulus of their speaking. And about the weakness, the lecturer or teacher have to learn enough story to tell it without open the book, and maybe they get the mistake, and sometimes the class will need more time. Okay, I have enough to explain this international journal. So I want to say thank you for watching this video. And before I close, I hope that coronavirus in this country will be ending so fast, because I miss my campus, I miss my friends, and I miss my lecturers, and of course I miss you. Okay, thanks for the attention. See you. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.